6 of the 7 candidates participated in a town hall hosted by the President of the General Assembly last week.
The person we choose will not only be the face of this house of humanity, but also its custodian. She or he will stand up for the United Nations Charter and all its 3 pillars: peace and security, sustainable development, and human rights. In a time of unprecedented challenges, yet also new opportunities.
Nominations for the job have been received as late as last week and include Michelle Bachelet, a former Chilean president, head of UN Women and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights; Maria Fernanda Espinosa, a former Ecuadorian Minister of Foreign Affairs and President of the UN General Assembly; Rafael Grossi, an Argentinian diplomat and current Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency; Rebecca Greenspan, a former Vice President of Costa Rica and the current head of the UN Conference on Trade and Development; Carolyn Rodriguez Burkett, a former Guyanese Foreign Minister and currently its Ambassador to the UN; Macky Sall, a former President of Senegal; and veteran Ugandan diplomat Olara Otuni, nominated just days ago and not part of the debate where candidates were asked what made them the best person to lead the United Nations.
I'm a tested leader with extensive political experience. I was twice President of the Republic. In my country, President of the Republic is head of state, but also is head of government. I proved I can lead complex negotiations and make difficult choices.
I have led this House. You elected me as President of the General Assembly, and in that role, I work with every member state. I listen to every voice. I build consensus even in the most difficult times.
Multilateralism can deliver. And I say this because I live it, and I live it every day. I live it through the work of an organization dealing with one of the most dangerous, sensitive, and gravest of areas in international life: nuclear weapons, nuclear safety. And we, through the IAEA, have been able to act.
The race is also being shaped by a long-observed, though unofficial, principle of geographical rotation, with this cycle being the turn of Latin America and the Caribbean.
I am running because what we do here in this hall matters for people struggling to be free from want, from illness, and from fear. Because we, nations large and small, can uphold the Charter as our anchor in a turbulent world. Because people are losing trust in the capacity of this organization to deliver peace in a more dangerous, more complex world. I am running to give them real solutions and honest answers.
I have also had the approach of building bridges, uniting people around common goals and objectives, and ensuring fairness. These are the attributes that I believe we need in the next Secretary General, and this is why I have put forward myself so that we can work together to make the UN fit for purpose for now and for the future.
With 2 candidates from Africa, including Senegal's former head of state.
I bring national experience as a former head of state, built over nearly 40 years of public service. I have learned to listen, dialogue, and take difficult decisions. Second, I bring regional experience, including as chairperson of ECOWAS.
The UN Security Council begins the process of selecting one of these candidates on Thursday, but a final recommendation to the General Assembly that appoints the next UN chief is at least weeks, if not months away. So, to a secret ballot we go on Thursday. All 15 council members participate, including the 5 permanent members that hold veto powers over any decision. The first straw poll will use identical white ballots, so diplomats will know only the overall level of support for each candidate. Later rounds become more revealing. The 5 permanent members switch to red ballots while the 10 elected members continue using white ones. Although individual votes remain secret, the color of the ballot shows whether opposition is coming from a veto-wielding permanent member a potentially fatal blow to any candidacy moving forward. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.